Hi folks, we're going to begin online instruction of CHEG 112 over the next week and a half here, but I wanted to start with a couple of brief recorded mini lectures on items of interest related both to CHEG 112 and to what you may need to keep in mind as we move completely to online courses across the university. Bear with me as this is one of the first videos I've made in Zoom, but I'm going to try to share with you some tips in a short PowerPoint presentation here. So I think if I do this and this, great. You should probably see a little picture of me in the corner and otherwise my PowerPoint slides here. So this video should be about 7 minutes long, just talking about some tips related to online learning. So I want to share some general advice, some resources that you should have as far as UD goes, and then kind of talk about some planning for expected or unexpected situations. In general, I wanted to share some tips from the literature in terms of how to succeed in online courses in general. Some of this is specific to online learning, but now that we're all being forced to go this way, I think it applies to us as well. So the very first thing that you want to try to do is keep your schedule as regular as you possibly can. That means still attending class if we offer it exactly at the time that CHEG 112 meets, which we're going to intend to do starting the Tuesday after new spring break. So that'll be March 24th, I believe. We will be meeting at 2 o'clock every Tuesday and Thursday, same as always. You want to commit to a regular schedule for the rest of your work as well as best you can, and for each of your classes, depending on how they're being parceled out. If they're going to post pre-recorded videos like this one, you again just want to have a regular time that you're planning on watching videos for X class is a good thing to think about. As you're deciding how to break up your day, especially if you have a combination of synchronous or in-time classes and asynchronous watch whenever you want kind of classes, you want to consider your schedule and when you're going to work best on a given subject. I suggest that you create a study space and that you keep it organized and devoted to working on your online learning. For example, I'm not going to deliver Zoom presentations while I'm sitting on my couch or attend other Zoom presentations while I'm sitting on my couch in my apartment because I might just absentmindedly pick up my remote control and see what's going on my DVR or something like that, right? So find a dedicated space where you can be in school mode still or in CHEG 112 mode or whatever that is for you so that you're staying diligent and staying focused on what you need to. Speaking of that, it's going to be easier than ever to be distracted by things because now you're likely not in the classroom and you have even more things at your fingertips that could distract you, like your phones and other devices. So please be even more mindful of being present when you're working on your classes so that you're using your time and your brain wisely. Remember that multitasking is a myth. You're really switching between tasks, and every time you switch your focus, your brain needs some amount of time to acclimate to that. So try to devote, again, a focused, diligent time and effort to your classes. I encourage you to make friends with a small group that you can hold one another accountable. You can even check to see that everyone's in the Zoom class with you when we do that online, or you check in with one another a few times a week just to make sure that people are keeping pace and helping to hold one another accountable. If a group like this is interesting to you, but you're having trouble making that group, please let us know and we can help form that group also. Separately, but also importantly, you want to form a group that you can talk to, that you can vent to, that you can process what's going on in these abnormal times. It's totally rational to need to do that. And so I encourage you to have a group maybe separate from your study group. Maybe there are other peers or family or friends that you know you can stay in regular contact to share any concerns that you have. As a reminder from the announcement that I posted to Canvas a couple days ago, there's a link here, and I'll post these slides to Canvas as well, of suggestions that you can do to be prepared for online courses through UD, which are going to continue indefinitely, potentially through the entire semester. At the minimum, you want to set up your UD Zoom account so that you can come to the live classes if we're able to hold them. You also want to set up a VPN, a virtual private network, so that you can download certain things. You may need apps anywhere to work in some of your engineering courses. I don't think we'll need it for CHEG 112, but it's not a bad idea to test to make sure you have access to those things. You may consider using MATLAB. We don't do a lot of MATLAB in this course, but you may feel that it's a good way to get some more practice on things. At a minimum, I would expect you to have some sort of spreadsheeting software that you have access to in case we do more analysis of reaction rate data and things like that. We're going to do our best to, again, stick to synchronous classes Tuesday, Thursday at 2 o'clock. TBD as far as the recitation sections go. But if the Zoom infrastructure fails us because there are too many universities across the country trying to use it, or there are too many of us trying to get in on the same interactive learning session at the same time, we'll have to resort to pre-recorded lectures instead. That's just going to make it even more important for you to be diligent, to set up a good schedule, to have a plan of attack for your courses. You're going to want to be flexible. You're going to want to be proactive. You need to do assignments earlier than later in case things go wrong technically, or in terms of other events unfolding, as things have happened at a pretty breakneck pace so far. I also encourage you to have multiple ways to access Canvas and Zoom. Download those apps to your smartphone if you've got that. Make sure you've got access on your computer for that. It sounds like from the survey that I sent out, everyone has access to one or the other or both. So please do have backup modes in order to complete the online parts of this course going forward. Specifics to us, again, our current plan is to do synchronous classes. We're going to hold Zoom office hours, so we'll post that to Canvas so that you know how to reach each of us and when. We'll try to stick to the same hours that we had originally planned, but things may change depending on our time, our location, what else is going on. So we'll make sure to keep updates on the syllabus page on Canvas itself, if not in the PDF that the syllabus is also communicated with. You can still use CHEG112@udel.edu at any time to email us all. We'll try to respond within 24 hours when it makes sense to. Occasionally, we may respond with a general announcement to the entire class, in which case we won't follow up with you individually. If you feel you still need an individual response, go ahead and send that message again. And from my understanding, PASS is still happening. The Office of Academic Enrichment is working with the PASS session leaders to set things up over Zoom. So I'll have news from AFSA and Andrew for you soon. As to our schedule, we lost one day because of classes technically being canceled on March 12th. So I think we'll still be able to be on track. I'll post this mini lecture and a couple other mini lectures to get us mostly where we would have been otherwise if we were in class. Again, because I build in practice problems and active learning, you can imagine those videos are going to be on the shorter side, but expect you to work in between them to get some work done. And of course, I know we're all a little anxious about how quizzes and exams are going to be delivered. Unfortunately, as of today, I don't have an answer for you, but we're working on it and we're seeing what resources are available, and we'll let you know as soon as we can. Most importantly, though, in these times, I want to emphasize that while we care about your learning and our ability to accurately assess your individual progress, we also care about you as individuals, and you need to take care of yourself even more than ever at this point. So I encourage you to find ways to keep in touch, certainly not physically, but electronically with one another. Have people back home, have people that you're texting with or video chatting with so that you feel less isolated if you happen to have to self-quarantine, or if for other reasons you get stuck in a certain location and aren't surrounded by family and friends. The website, the coronavirus website that UDEL has posted, will keep you updated as far as that sort of stuff goes. If you have specific concerns related to the pandemic itself, there's the email address and phone number that I sent out over Canvas earlier this week as well. I'll also post these slides so that you have the link to the Student Development Office's tips for self-care. And please note that 24/7 you can use the UD helpline or the crisis text line to get through this as well. We want to support your learning, but we also want to support your health here, okay? Next up will be a little bit of a practice problem or two, a recap of where we've been as far as CSTRs go, but that'll do it for this video. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care, everybody.